Come in.
Hi.
Hi.
Arielle Pagley from Salesforce.
Howdy. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, so good to see you again. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I am great. It was so great meeting you at that alumni event last weekend. I'm so glad Jack could introduce us.
Yes, that was so funny.
I'm sure he mentioned that we had a lot of classes together when we were at Terry, so we became very close, but I'm glad he was able to introduce us, and I'm very happy to be here sharing what Salesforce is all about today.
Yes.
I wanted to go ahead and give you my business card. I know we exchanged numbers at the tailgate, but I just wanted to make sure you had that, so in case you have any questions or concerns following this meeting, I'm available at any time, so feel free to call.
Well, thanks so much for that.
I know you are a very busy woman, and your time is very valuable, so when we set the meeting, we agreed on 20 minutes. I wanted to make sure we still had that. Okay, great. So before we get started, is there anybody else you would like to have sit in on this meeting today?
There may have to be some sort of separate conversation after this that I can talk to my other people, but for right now, it's just me.
Okay, great. Do you mind if I take notes during the meeting?
No, absolutely not. You're good.
Okay, great. So, like I said, I know your time's very valuable, so I went ahead and just kind of made a quick agenda for us to go over for this meeting today. So feel free to interrupt me with any questions or concerns you have while I go through everything. First, I just wanted to learn a little bit about you and your role here at Yeti. And then I also just wanted to get a better understanding of some of the challenges you may be facing and some of the needs you have, as well as your future goals for Yeti as a company. And then finally, I'd love to be able to show you a demo of Salesforce and just kind of a hands-on basic thing of you being able to see everything we have to offer. Awesome. And if everything goes well today, then I would love to explore the possibility of having a partnership between Salesforce and Yeti, just where everybody can benefit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, let's get started. So, I have come up with some ways that we at Salesforce may be useful to you guys. However, I just wanted to ask some questions in order to better understand Yeti and fill some of the gaps.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I talked to Jack at the event this past weekend, he mentioned to me that there has been a tremendous amount of growth within your company. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. We are very proud of that.
Yeah, it's so great. I heard you guys have reached that $450 million mark, and that's huge. So where is there to go from here? What kind of goals are you guys looking to set for the future of Yeti?
Well, of course, we're always looking to constantly be growing. We hope that we never reach that ceiling. But we love just the overarching goal of our customers. We love being able to have that relationship with them and really focus on them. That's been one of our core values for a while now. So that's just always been our main goal.
Right, yeah, and I knew that one of your biggest focuses was the customer and having them be the main focus, so that's awesome. Jack did also mention that along with all the growth, there might be some challenges of being able to really maintain that growth and stay on top of it. And I realized that it's possible this has started to conflict with some of those core values that you guys value so much. Would you agree with this? Have you been seeing this throughout the company?
Well, we have noticed that we have a very outdated tracking system currently, which has caused us to kind of fall behind on that exponential growth. Just kind of hard to stay on top of it. So, yes, that has conflicted with us. Recently, it's a much slower, just a less efficient system, and it's causing conflict with us being able to compete with those larger companies that have those updated and quicker systems. So we've definitely looked into changing and fixing this process.
Right, okay, and he mentioned that you guys were looking at a number of CRM solutions, so that's why I'm here to talk to you about Salesforce and everything we can do for you. So what would you say that this tracking system is like for you guys currently? Do you guys experience a lot of errors with that, or since you mentioned that it's outdated?
So basically the tracking system currently, we have our sales reps out in the field collecting all the data on our customers. And then they go back in and log it under either Excel, Word, whatever. We don't really have a strict policy on that. It's just whatever works best for that division. But then they report that back to our managers, and the other Yeti employees. They can all have access to this information and really see all of that. So obviously there's going to be that small percentage of human error when logging that information and inputting it all the data. But we haven't really noticed that as much in the past being such a huge issue.
Okay, so yeah, I understand how human error can definitely play a part, especially with things moving up the line. So you mentioned that small percentage. If you had to give that percentage a number, what do you think that would be?
If I had to give it a number, it would probably be around maybe 0.5% of our total revenue. Like I said, very small percentage.
Okay, yeah, so very small, but eventually those small numbers are going to end up adding up. So you mentioned that this inputted data is going from the sales reps up the chain of command to the managers. Could you go into a little more detail of how this works?
Of course, yes. So we have a certain number of sales representatives, and they end up reporting back to one manager. So each manager, we have 10 different managers, takes on about 10 sales representatives. So each manager has about 10. And the sales representatives, like I said, they go out into the field. They are the ones connected with the customers, really getting that information, gaining all of that. And they manually log all the basic numbers into whatever the Excel or Microsoft Word doc, whatever that manager is requiring them to do. So the managers then see these logged numbers in these documents on each customer and kind of have that report on the revenue for that quarter or whatever.
Okay, so what specific parts of this system do you think could be improved?
Well, of course, we're always looking to improve. You can improve on anything. But I do believe that we've had some slight discrepancies just with the information as it gets moved up the chain of command from that sales representative position all the way up to the managers. I mean, it is difficult for our managers to keep track of each and every sales representative that they have that they're in charge of.
Right, okay. So you said, there's those managers and then there's the sales reps. How many accounts would you say each of those sales reps is responsible for?
With each manager having 10 sales reps, I would suggest each sales rep probably has about 10 accounts.
Okay. So these managers obviously are in charge of a lot of people with having 10 sales reps, and then if each of those has 10 accounts they're responsible for. How much time would you say per week these managers are dedicating to, working out all the kinks and putting this information into the system using what you guys currently have?
Yeah. I would assume that our managers are spending probably 15 to 20 hours per week, 15 on their less busy weeks, but the 20 on the more busy weeks.
All right.
Looking at all of that data.
All right. So just how much would you say would you value these managers' time at? If you had to pick a dollar amount.
Our managers are very valuable. We need them on all parts of our selling team and things like that. So I would give them about $100 an hour of value.
Okay. So, back to the chain of command we were talking about. When I talked to a few of the Yeti employees earlier this week, they mentioned how you guys, the sales reps, have the customer profile information, but that's kind of really only known by the sales reps, and it's kind of just the relationship being maintained there, and the managers don't really have access to that information. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. So our managers, like I said, they see all the numbers inputted into whatever software it is that they are using, and our sales reps are the ones that are really building that relationship with the customer, so they're the ones that see that consumer profile. And yeah, that can affect interdepartmental communication, and we've noticed recently.
Okay, yeah, I can see that definitely adding to some of the confusion in communication and cross-functionally by not having everybody with access to the same information.
Right.
So obviously that's led to some difficulties, and your system has led to some difficulties. So I'm hoping that we can work all that out for you.
Right.
So if you had to describe, I know you've been looking at a bunch of different CRM systems and solutions. If you had to describe what would be your perfect CRM system, what kind of characteristics would that system have?
So we have been looking at a lot of different system providers, but I guess the main things that we've been looking for are like a streamlined process. We really don't have that going for us right now, and we really would like to get there to that streamlined process, and just being easily accessible on all fronts of information. We want all of our employees on the same page and really knowing everything, because our main goal is always the customer, and so we think that will really help build our relationships there and really help them enjoy our product more.
Okay, great. Well, I really think that Salesforce is going to be able to give you what you guys need in order to get back to your customers and really get a handle on this growth. I would love to show you a demo of what I've been explaining this whole time.
Absolutely.
If you're interested.
I would love to see what Salesforce is all about.
Slide over here if you don't mind.
Of course.
So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the home page. So, okay, we have here is our homepage, and as you can see, it's very organized, which is something that we definitely take pride in here, just having that organization and that easy access for literally any employee who needs to use this.
Right.
If we look here, we have everything organized in our tabs and all of the tools, and it's really easy for everybody to access. We also have everything is customizable, so you're able to cater your Salesforce page to whatever you want to focus on within your division. You can also customize it with your company, so if you want to put your Yeti logo on there, that's a possibility as well. Another thing, since you mentioned that not everybody has access to the customer profiles, if you look here, you can see where all this information is stored. So literally everybody can access these customer profiles, and you'll no longer have to worry about misinformation being transferred, from the sales rep along the line of command. And it really streamlines everything and really provides more visibility, especially for the managers. Another thing we have here that's interesting is you're able to view each sales rep individually and see how they're doing. You can also compare every sales rep to every sales rep you have, so see who's really thriving and doing well. Maybe even get a little friendly competition going in the office, and just really keep track of everyone's progress all in one place. And then lastly, a really great benefit of this is being able to really see the sales process from start to finish. So from that first conversation all the way to the close, it's all stored here. Everybody can access it. So that's a really great thing. Lastly, something that we've implemented is our mobile platform. So, whether you're a salesperson out on a call or whether you're in your office on your computer, you're able to access Salesforce no matter what.
Awesome, yeah.
So we have the mobile setting, and then this setting, which is all extremely organized. Really just our goal is to make it easier for you and for everybody to be able to access it.
Absolutely, I can see that.
So, do you have any more questions about Salesforce or anything else that you wanted to look at?
Actually, I guess my only question left, I've loved seeing this and actually being able to view the hands-on basic approach to that. But I would just like to, money-wise, what are we talking?
All right, well, I'm a very numbers person, so let me go ahead and write some numbers out for you and really show you what we're working with here. So, for the first month, that's going to be when we come in and do a full installation, fully immersive training for all of your staff. Salesforce and myself will be available throughout every step of the process, anything you might need. We're going to be here at the tip of your fingers. The cost of that training and installation is going to be $40,000 per employee per month. That's going to be $125. So you mentioned you have about 100 employees that will need this, so that's going to be about $12,500. So your first month is going to run you about $52,500. But then in the next month, since the training and installation will already be completed, that's going to drop you down to $12,500 and continue to be that. So
yeah, that is quite a large startup fee that we're looking at there.
Right, and I completely understand the concern there, but if we want to go back to some of the numbers that we mentioned earlier, you said your managers on their less busy weeks are spending 15 hours inputting this information in with the system you guys currently have. And you did say that you value your manager's time at about $100 an hour. So if you take that 15 hours and multiply it by the $100, that's going to put you at $1,500. And if you want to do it, for the whole year, $1,500 by 52 weeks, that's going to put you at $78,000. So almost $80,000 just for one manager having to put in all of that information manually and on their own is what you're losing with that system that you guys currently have.
Yeah, I didn't realize how large that number was that we were missing out on.
Right, exactly, and it would really be a good way to streamline everything and really cut those losses there. Another thing that we talked about was the percentage loss that you guys are possibly experiencing with the simple fact of human error. You said about 0.5% of your total revenue. So with you guys having it reach that $450 million revenue, which is excellent, if you take 0.5% of that, that's still going to be about $2.25 million.
Goodness. Mm-hmm.
So, when comparing the $2.25 million to your first month of startup at about $52,000, what are your thoughts there?
I mean,
it's obviously
the $2.25 million is a better or not as great of a loss as the $52,000, which is definitely obvious with this. But since it is such a large startup fee, we're definitely going to have to, or I'm going to have to talk to like the head of sales, head of finance. But I would love for you to come back and do a meeting with them and kind of show them all this information, because I know that they would be very interested to see what you have to offer for them.
Right, okay. So I went ahead and taken the liberty of putting together just this packet of everything that we've talked about today. It has all the information that you need to brief anyone else on that needs to look at it. I would love to sit down and talk to and explain everything that we talked about to those other people you said might want to be in on this. So if you're able to set up a meeting for the same time next week, I would love to do that and get a face-to-face time with those people and really get everyone on board.
I will brief them on this to make sure that the right people are there at the same time.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much, Addie. It was great meeting with you today.
So
you have a great rest of your day.
You too.